Fighter Alpha 3. Give me that. I have this weird issue. I don't know why it does this, where like when I put in my USB-C to USB-C portable hard drive, it does this thing where it's like it just takes a long time to like load in randomly. I don't know why it does that. It's just weird. Only that. Like if I do a regular USB, not a problem. It's just weird to me that it does that. All right, so I was just ranting about something out loud, and I was just like, maybe I should just make a video about it, right? So basically, topic is, why is it that when we get a Capcom collection game, specifically, I have to harp at Capcom for this, because it never happens with Arc System, it never happens with Smash Brothers, Nintendo, any other game, any other people who do like collection games, it never happens to. But then like Capcom, for some reason, every time they release a collection game, it just so happens that the collection game doesn't have all the features that the original game had. Example, this Street Fighter Alpha 3, right? And this was the exact game I was talking about, right? That's Alpha 3. That's the original Street Fighter Alpha 3. When I had Alpha 3, it looked like this. Right? Because it had like the updated version of the game. Well, actually, that's the last version of the game. But when I had it, it looked similar to that, right? Let me see if I can find the other select screen here. Yeah, here we go. This is the version I remember. Okay. So Street Fighter Alpha 3 came out, right? But for some reason, every time they release a Capcom collection, we never have all of the features of the last version of the game. I don't know why that is. And a lot of people say because the competitive players prefer only the original version of the game, right? And that's fine. But Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, which was a collection game for PlayStation 2, it had the ability to select each different version of the game. So if you wanted like the original version here, you could play the original version. If you wanted the version with a little more, it had that. This version came out last. It's the PSP version. I had this was the last one with Eagle, Maki, and Ingrid, and and Yun as well was in it. That's the last version, so that doesn't count. But what I'm saying is, if you have this version of the game, if this version exists, it being the complete edition, because Street Fighter Third Strike is like that. A lot of people don't know that Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is actually the third version of Street Fighter 3, right? There's actually a fourth version of Street Fighter 3, which was the Dreamcast version, but I won't go into detail about that. That's a whole different thing. But it's just like, it irritates me that every time they come out with a collection, it never has the features of all of these games. And it's like, yo, let me show you the video. Cause yeah. Yo, I was sitting there, I was like, ain't no way. One second. Let me find it for you guys. Street Fighter Alpha, oh, my fault. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Anthology playthrough. Actually, I just played it, so it should be on my thingy. Actually, it wasn't. Oh, no. It was like it's a playlist with like 7 of them. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Anthology. Just type in Street Fighter Street Fighter Alpha anthology, right? I was just looking at it like right before I got on here. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. I found the video. Right. Oh, and this one had Pocket Fight on it too. So check this out. I'm gonna put it in the front in a second as soon as I can move it up there. Alright, so Street Fighter Alpha 3, right? Pause this for full screen that. Oh, not that. How you do it? Oh, it's this right here. Okay. So look, Alpha 3, right? And then this is the collection version. This is what pissed me off about this. This is what made me start this rant video. When you start the game, press start button. You press this to start button. It's arcade mode, exit, and options. That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get for a collection game. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, you got the little the options or whatever, and then it just goes straight to arcade. And it's just like there's no modes. There's no like, you know, how we used to do back in the day. You used to do one player versus, and then every time you lose, you could, the first player didn't have to stay on that character like you're in the arcade. You could always just switch and do whatever it is that you needed to do. Let me show you another picture here. Take this off. Right? Another picture here. See if I can find it. I think it was this one. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. This is the Dreamcast version of the game. All of these game modes that we used to have, we can never experience that again. If you're releasing a game as a collection, how come it's just made to where you don't have even a slimmer of the experience you had when you first played the game? I've never experienced that before. Like all the Sonic Adventure 2s, the Sonic Adventures, anything like that came out had all the features that the original version of the game had, or that the latest version of the game had. Because I think Sonic Adventure was based off the GameCube version of the game. It had all of that. Where's all of these? Look at this arcade mode, variable mode. That variable mode, I think, is the thing where you could do like 5 versus 3, but then like the 3 characters have like a stronger like more health or more damage or whatnot to make it like competitive. Training, obviously, you always have that. Free battle, that's like just versus, you know. World tour mode had everything, you know. A lot of people, I understand, they don't like the Dreamcast World Tour mode compared to the Sega Saturn, but the fact that you had it, like you had that steer, and then in the collection it don't exist. Survival, and speaking of survival, right? Survival mode had a bunch of other things in it, where it's like it had boss battle, it had this thing called reverse survival mode, and then it had this thing that me and my uncle used to always play, which was survival dramatic mode. You see dramatic mode right there. Dramatic mode is the 2 versus 1. Reverse dramatic mode is 1 versus 2. You fight 2 of every opponent at the same time. But survival mode had this thing where we play against the whole game. It used to be me and my uncle versus the whole game, and it would do like a double, like a 2-on-1 survival mode. They had that, and it was so fun. Final battle, that's when you fight the final boss, Bison. There was a cheat code where you could hold a button, you fight Shin Akuma instead. All of that stuff used to be in the game, man. And now it's just like, again, every collection that comes out, it just don't have nothing. It don't have nothing. There's no content no more. There's no content. And then it leads me to this. The what's the newest collection come out? CAPCOM Collection 2, right? Something like that. This one, the one with CVS 2, right? Ping it real quick. CVS 2. This one is coming out. This one has CVS 1, CVS 2, Power Stone 1, Power Stone 2, and Project Justice, which is the final version of Rival Schools 2. And again, with these final iterations of the game, I don't understand. Like, for example, if they're giving us Project Justice, you should give us the Dreamcast version of Project Justice, not the PlayStation 1 version of Rival Schools 2. It's different. It's just a different game entirely. I don't understand the mindset of, yo, give them a collection, but the collection is only going to have arcade mode and online mode. That makes no sense. Like, some people like single player experience things. Like, dag, I've been playing people online for like 4 hours straight. I don't want to play that no more. I just want to play versus the AI versus, like, let me see if I could beat that, like how Justin Wong does. He plays against the AI on the hardest difficulty to see if he could beat it with like a special condition or something like that. You used to always have these things. We used to always experience that. Can't experience none of that no more. So again, this version of the game, I guarantee you, watch, I call this right now, if it's not already confirmed, Power Stone 1 and 2 is not going to be the PSP version of Power Stone, which is the best version of Power Stone. How is it the best version of Power Stone? Because I'll show you. I'll just prove it to you. It's basically Power Stone PSP, Power Stone Collections, the actual Power Stone Collection, which was, it was more like, you can't even call it Power Stone Collection. It was more like Super Power Stone. It had more to offer. It had more features. They added more things to the game. It wasn't just another, like, oh, let me just stuff a collection in this game. This game had, oh, why is it not doing that? Oh, okay, that's why. That's too big of an image. Oh, I could just do this. I forgot. All right, look. Power Stone PSP, Power Stone Collection. It had Power Stone 1, Power Stone 2 in it. Off default, right? That's the collection, right? But guess what else it had? This is what makes it amazing. All the Power Stone 2 content can be used in Power Stone 1. And all the Power Stone 1 content gets added on to Power Stone 2. So everything that was missing from each game was added on to both games. So you experience both games with the most highest experience. It's like as if a modder, like a person who mods games, took it and then added like a whole new experience to the game. That's how fun and amazing this game was. You had it was Pete. It was 4 characters. It was Pete, Gormando, Julia, and Excel. And then it was also Falcon's father, Pride, and another character named Mel. All 6 of those characters were added to Power Stone 1. So now you have the experience of both games in one. Because Power Stone 1 did play slightly different than Power Stone 2. It was how can I say, Power Stone 2 was more of a party game, whereas Power Stone 1 was more competitive, if that makes sense. But you had all of that, man. Just what happened to that? Even CVS 2. CVS 2 right here. There's CVS 2, and they gave, actually, now that I think about it, they announced when this came out that you have an option to do EO. If you don't know EO, excuse me, just ate. Perfect. EO was the extra option. It's standing for extra option. It was the version of Capcom vs. SNK 2 that came out for GameCube. And then there's a third one that came out for the first Xbox, but it was the same. It's actually the same game. It was just labeled I think XO, which is for Xbox, or XB edition. It's the same. It's the same game. But the EO version of the game is different from the vanilla version of the game. Some people like that version, some people like the vanilla version of the game. But it gave you this version of this Capcom collection gives you the option to play both versions of the game. So I don't understand why every other game on it, like Power Stone, the Street Fighter Alphas, what is it called? I just had it. This one, Pocket Fighter. Pocket Fighter had this. It had Running Battle. Running Battle was Pocket Fighter survival mode, but what made it cool was that it was one stage, and the stage you go through like the timeline of the Capcom games. It was actually pretty fire. Go through the timeline of like all of the Capcom games, like Mega Man to Mega Man Legends to like old RPG Capcom games, stuff like that. Darkstalkers, everything. It had that in the original, but then the collection don't have it. Saying it again, collection don't have it. I just don't understand why. But for CVS2 it has it. But I have the Marvel, what's it called? Marvel vs. Capcom collection. You don't have all the features from like X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Granted, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had a lot of options too, but they all were kind of like mixed in one. That really didn't make a difference, but you had all these things, and it just bugged me. That's why I just wanted to make this rant. It was just like, where all that been at? Why? That's just the question of the day. Why, when a Capcom collection comes out, we never have all or the latest iteration of one of the collection games? That's all I want to know. If somebody can answer that question for me, please let me know. I'll even put it in the comment. It'll be the first comment. Just answer that question for me, please. It blows my mind.